Hello everyone, and welcome to SUNUP. I'm LYNDALL STOUT. Congress has reached a big milestone with the Farm Bill. To get us up to speed and to learn what's in store for the rest of the year, here's our Extension Ag Policy Specialist, Amy Hagerman.
Right, well, last week we actually had an agreement in principle out of the conference committee on the Farm Bill, which is really big news for us. This means that the versions of the Farm Bill from the House and the Senate that were passed in the summer and that has been under discussion with this conference committee since September the 5th is finally, they've worked out all the details, they've worked out the differences between the two bills, and we now have a reconciled Farm Bill that's ready to be scored by the Congressional Budget Office, ready to be introduced for a full floor vote in the House and the Senate, and if it passes those two sides, then it goes to the President for signature, and this is really good news.
Let's kind of talk about some of the major parts of the compromise that Oklahomans in particular might be interested in.
Yeah, so a couple of pretty big things came out of this. First is that crop insurance remains really robust. This was something that was called for when they did the listening sessions associated with the Farm Bill prior to writing it, and that remains there for Oklahoma producers who utilize those crop insurance programs. Another thing is that the rest of the commodity farm safety net was actually really strengthened. There's potentially going to be a yield update, which could be good news for our counties that had a lot of drought the last time the yields were set. Also on the conservation side, that was an area where there was some controversy and some pretty big differences between the two versions of the Farm Bill. The House version of the Farm Bill proposed eliminating the Conservation Stewardship Program, but it looks like in the version of the bill coming out of the conference committee that the Conservation Stewardship Program and the Environmental Quality Incentives Program are both going to be available in the coming 5 years. And then finally, one of the areas there was a lot of controversy around were these mandatory work requirements for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, formerly known as food stamps. This had caused a lot of division and some delay as they worked out those differences, but it looks like those work requirements are not going to be in this version of the Farm Bill that's going to come out. And that means a couple of different things. One, it means that it's a little bit more of a bipartisan Farm Bill that looks a little more like the Senate version that came out. And it also means that there's a pretty good chance we'll get this Farm Bill passed by the end of the year.
So between now and the end of the year to get that done, what needs to happen? There's quite a bit of work between now and then.
There's quite a bit of work and not very many days between now and then. So the last day of the two congressional sessions are the 13th and the 14th for the House and the Senate. So we need to get this bill introduced probably by early next week at the latest, and it needs to pass both the House and the Senate. And then the President needs to sign it hopefully by the end of December in order to get this in process and to be able to have sign-ups for ARC and PLC and the other programs in 2019.
Well, let's hope they get to that. Some great progress, though. At least there's been that much.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is really good news. This is a nice end-of-year treat for us.
Okay, Amy, thanks for getting us up to speed, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.